Okay. Right. I think we got some squares here. Thank you, Chase, for showing your face.
Sorry, I didn't know if it was required.
That's right, it is. Melissa and Greg. Greg, I know you. I don't know if you're just listening while you're driving somewhere. I don't know if you people were expecting Adam or because I know he normally does these coaches. So hopefully this isn't a disappointment as I've got hair. Adam doesn't. So okay. So I thought I would start with a little introduction. In fact, let me just put in the chat. I will make it super simple. So I'll just put kimrogne.com. Right now, that currently I should say points to my link tree. So everything that you want to know about Kim Rogne, you could go there. And Greg is eating lunch. Hopefully it's super good. A little bit of my background. So I've been 25 years, going on 26 now in the real estate industry. So I started out in sales. If you could do me a favor and just put in the chat so I know who I'm speaking with, what your role is. Are you an agent? Are you a leader? Do you own a brokerage? Are you just here because you accidentally clicked on a Zoom link and you don't know what you're doing here? Somebody's made you come here. I would really like to get a good idea of who I'm talking to. So 25 years in the real estate business, started out in sales. I did that for about 15 years. Then I moved into multiple management roles. Here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is where I am located. And I managed a REMAX office. I then most recently, for 8 years, I was a team leader launching Keller Williams offices in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. So when I started as a team leader, in Milwaukee, we had no idea who a Keller was, let alone a Williams. We had none of them. And so when I was approached about this apparently TL role, I'm like, what the heck is a TL? I had no idea what it was. We started with 43 agents at the first launching market center. And when I left, we had multiple offices and 700 agents. So I was a part of all of that crazy inception. So at the end of 2022, I retired from the TL role and started my full-time motivational speaking and coaching business. So I am building two businesses in tandem with each other. Right now, I coach, 15 clients. I'm looking to build that up to 25. Half of them are in the real estate space and half of them are not. So I have some other small business owners from somebody who owns a plumbing company. I have a young gentleman that's building out his photography business. Business is business. And so that's one business. And then my second business is I'm building out my keynote speaking business. Totally different. So looking to, you know, be on stage as a keynote speaker and make $50,000 like an Ed Milet. So that's my goal. So I thought I would start. Well, first of all, okay, so we've got 17-year team owner, Greg, and a coach. I know Greg. We got agent, ATL, MCTT for 3 years. Okay. So I want to know, have you guys ever heard, and maybe Greg, you have you heard of the personality types shapes model? Has anybody done the personality test shapes model? No? Okay. Okay, so we're just going to have a little fun because I thought it would be kind of fun to break the ice a little bit before we jump into something that I want to ask you guys, before I make you do a little homework on the spot. Okay, so we all know personality tests like DISC, Enneagram, if every Strength Finders, love Strength Finders, by the way, it's probably my favorite. Love languages, KPA, we could go on and on. So I'm going to share a real quick one with you because this could also be something you use for fun. Most likely you do all teach or you get into a leadership position, whether it's leadership in your market center or your brokerage, whether it's leading a team, whether you're coaching like Greg, or whether you're part of a nonprofit and you're just speaking. This is something that you can copy and use. So this is what we call the shapes model, okay? So I'm going to mention four shapes, and whatever one speaks to you immediately, it resonates with you immediately, just put it in the chat. So here are the four shapes. Are we ready? Don't overthink it. We got square. Certainly feel free to draw them out if it helps you. Triangle. boom, boom. We have circle, and then we'll just go with a squiggle line. Square, triangle, circle, and squiggle line. What do we got? We got a triangle, we got a square. What shape, when I said it, resonated with you the most? We got a lot of squares here. Maybe because we're in a square right now. I don't know. We got some squares, we got some triangles. Okay. We got Melissa, Greg, who hasn't? Rachel, I don't know, Christina. Don't know if you guys are just driving and listening. Okay. So just for fun, all my squares in the house. Squares in the house. Ooh, we got a triangle now. Squares. Now, is this 100% proof? I mean, what assessment really is, right? So just know when I read this to you, don't judge yourself or say, oh, that's not me or this one is more. You probably have a lot of these traits, but maybe not all of them. So squares, you are, okay, take note, realtors, because most of you are not squares. Detail-oriented, dependable, and responsible. Work hard, organized, you hate clutter. Love data, numbers, policies, and procedures. Blah, that would be me, not. Analytical, can be stubborn, hesitant to change, logical. Expressing emotion may be difficult. Best when working alone rather than on a team, but it doesn't mean you wouldn't want to be on a team. Frugal, ooh, these are the people we want to, we want them to take us out for lunch. See fun as a luxury. So that's a square. Our triangles, we got a triangle. Yeah, we got a couple triangles. Triangle, here we go. Bottom line, hate to lose even more than they love to win. Extremely confident, love to debate and argue. Outspoken, can be sarcastic. Smart, know a little bit about everything. Like to be in charge, love to multitask. Rarely apologize. Successful, impatient, and self-motivated. So triangle and square. By the way, if you're on a dating app, maybe this is something you want to do with the person you want to date because they might make a really good couple. All right, so circle. Okay, we didn't have any circles. Okay, but I'm going to read the circle. Circle is love to have fun, work best on teams, take things personally, empathetic, and compassionate, great storytellers, want to fix everyone else, may give silent treatment when they feel hurt or angry, struggle setting boundaries, talk too much, hate conflict and confrontation, often feel guilty and responsible for others, and overcommit and can't say no. And I'm going to reveal right now, I'm a circle. Shocker. All right, and then our squiggles. Did we have any squiggles? I can't see if we had any squiggles. Anybody resonate with a squiggle? The squiggles like to be around people who are fun, adapt easily to change, super energetic, love to try new things, get bored easily, shoot from the hip, don't always research first. Idea generators, not as organized as they should be, so they should probably hang out with a square. Speak before they think, don't like to be told what to do, counterintuitive, and like attention. So anyway, I just thought that would be a fun activity just for fun because maybe you guys know each other and you're like, oh yeah, you're a square, you're a triangle. Yeah. On the nose, Greg says, thanks. Okay, so we're going to do a little activity. Shoot from the hip. Okay, we're going to do a little activity here. So does everybody have their calendar with them? Like, is it on your phone? Is it on paper? Maybe you got to shrink the screen. So I just did this and it took me 5 minutes. So I did this right before we got on this call. So what I want you to do, and I was kind of shocked a little bit myself, count from now until December 31st, how many days you will be working in your business. In your business, meaning you will have an opportunity to lead generate, ask for business, right? In your business. So what you don't want to count is if you're going to a convention, right? Right now, right here, if you were going to be sitting on a Zoom all day learning. So count how many days you're actually going to be working in your business from now until the end of the year. And I'll know when you're done when you put your number in the chat. This is what I call our let's get real moment. We got a 54. Woof, we got a 110, 72. I'll put my original around 80. Okay. My original one when I did this activity. So here's what's interesting and keep putting them in there as you add them up if you're still adding them up. So I went into my calendar and I did this, and there were 3 times that I was not working in the business where I was actually presenting at conventions and traveling. There was one time I was getting my hair done. Well, actually, there's 2 times I'm getting my hair done, and guys, it takes me 3 hours. So it means, and that's not an exaggeration. I know the ladies can relate. Greg, probably not. But it means that I'm probably leaving a half hour before. I've had a half hour at the back. Like I'm not really working in it, meaning going and looking for new business. I said Thanksgiving. I always take off Thursday, Friday. And for whatever reason, I also like Wednesday. Do I really work? Right? Not really. And then I'm pretty much done December 23rd and after, right? Like that's when there were all these days, right? So I came up with 73 when I actually added. Then here's what I want you to do next. You're going to do a 10% fail rate. A 10%, meaning, so I took 73, multiplied by 10%. So I'm really only going to be working 65 days because there's 10% that you didn't even think of. The kid gets sick, whatever. You get to do something spontaneously, whatever. So I'm down to 65 days. And some of you are going to be in the 60s as well. Greg, you're 54, right? I'm down to, wow, 49. Whew. So I had a little bit of an awakening. I was like, oh my gosh. And I know we talk about this in real estate, right? Everything we do, I believe everything we do today shows up 90 days later, right? It's August, September. We're like November already. Um, so my question for you is, when now knowing that number and you showed up on this Zoom because clearly you're looking to get value and coaching and something to help you move forward, something to help you finish the year strong. So this is the reality. Like write that number down and then I'm going to challenge you to go visit it. I want you to go visit it again and really be real with yourself. Is that really how many numbers you're going to be working in your business? And my question for you is, what is it that caused you to show up today on this Zoom? Like, what do you feel like you need right now? One, now you know your number. And two, what would cause you to finish the year strong? Like, what is it? Is it time blocking? Is it mindset? Is it accountability? Like, what is it? Give me an idea because we could coach on 100 things. But right now, what I want for you is to finish the year strong, given your 49 days, your 76 days. I've got 65 days. We got a mindset. Yeah, that mind. Like that's anybody else? Because I could talk, Greg knows me well. I could talk about knocking stuff out. I could talk about mindset all day long. Knocking stuff out. Abby says mindset. Does anybody else have anything that sticks out? Preparing for next year. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Which we'll start doing. I don't know about you. I start doing that about October, but you can certainly start thinking about it and reflecting. Okay. We're going to do a little activity that's mindset related. So get yourself a clean piece of paper. I'm not fancy like Adam Roach. Like I don't have a iPad that hooks up to the Zoom. I'm working on it. This is as fancy as I get. It's a notebook with a Sharpie. We're going to old school it, you guys. Okay, here's what I want you to do. On your piece of paper, draw a big circle because you're going to be writing some words in it. So a big circle. In your piece of paper, in your circle, at the top, you're going to write your potential, equals your reality, equals, at the bottom of the circle, your perception. So your potential equals your reality equals your perception. Then what we're going to do is at the bottom of the circle, we're going to have two angled arrows. And on the left side, we're going to write how you act. And on the right side, a little arrow, what you do. So how you act, what you do. And then the top of it, an arrow pointing up, you're going to write who you are. Who you are. So we have in the circle, your potential equals your reality equals your perception. At the bottom of the circle, two arrows pointing to, on the left, how you act. On the right, what you do. And at the top, who you are. So this is something I devised called my PRP model. My PRP model. And I like to actually read it from the circle going up, because your perception that you have of yourself is your reality, which is your potential. So I'm going to give you an example of two agents or two leadership members or anybody that needs to lead generate to go and get business. I have to lead generate to get business, right? I have coaching clients. I have speaking engagements. Everybody has to lead. I mean, our new restaurant has to lead generate to get business. What are they doing? So your perception, how do I explain it? So really, it's how you interpret yourself and how you understand others. So I'm agent A, and I wake up, and oh, by the way, I hit snooze 3 times. And then all of a sudden I get out of bed and I'm like, oh crap, I should have gotten up earlier. And I do what's called these negative should have games. I call these should haves. Okay, it's okay. I'm just gonna keep on moving forward, right? And then I'm like, oh man, I got this listing appointment. Oh, I knew I should have pulled the CMA last night, but I didn't. Wait, now I got to lead generate. Who am I going to call? Wait, now I just tried to put on these skinny jeans and it was like I gained 20 pounds overnight. What is happening here? Or for me, I'm 50 and I don't know what's happening, but all of a sudden I got these neck wrinkles going on. I'm like, what is that? Right? So here's the deal. Your brain is not your friend. Your brain is not your friend. So you start with your perception. And then here's what happens. You're walking around in the reality of you've already lost the day. You're like, I've already lost it. I listened to my brain. And in turn, what happens? That is the cap in your potential. And that's what I call the PRP model. So your perception is how you interpret and understand yourself and others in the world. Your reality is the state of things as they exist. And then your potential is the inherent capacity to develop and improve. And so then I'm an agent. I got up. I had all these conversations with myself. And then I said I couldn't do it. I didn't have enough time. I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't talented enough. Nope, they're not going to choose me. So then how I act is exactly like that. I show up at the office with an intention. Instead, I get sideswiped at the water cooler because I'm like, I'm not a top producer. And all of a sudden, what I'm doing, my activities and tasks are exactly that, right? Because my perception has started out day one, the moment I stepped out of bed, that I wasn't a top agent and I wasn't going to be able to meet my goals anyway. And all of a sudden, that's who I am. And that's your identity. That's your values. That's your beliefs. And here's the really cool thing. Here's a really cool thing. And I know you guys have heard this. I'm not the first time telling you this. You can rewire your brain. You can literally rewire your brain. It is scientifically proven that you can rewire the perception that you have of yourself and be agent B and wake up and say, nope, I got it going on. Good to go. It's Thursday. There's still time, right? My reality is I'm walking around. I'm a top agent. I'm going to go get that listing. I'm going to go get that recruit. I'm going to go get that new coaching client. And I'm starting to hit my potential. And in turn, I've completely altered the way that I act, what I do, and who I am. And so that's the PRP model that I created because I have been coaching agents and really small business owners. It's very interesting to start being in the world of other small business owners. So I recently was doing a presentation like this with a group of IT leadership professionals in an IT company. So I had 12 people that were on a leadership Zoom, and we kind of did these sort of same activities. And I said to them, I have 3 subjects I can coach on. One of them is how to reach your goals. It's something we call the GROW model. Greg, you know what that is because we've been taught that by Adam. Maybe he's taught it here before. I said, we can talk about time blocking and balance. A lot of you know, you follow the one thing and your big rocks and all that, or we can talk about mindset, which is my PRP model that I am passionate about and speak about. And keep in mind, so right now we've got mainly women. Oh, Greg, look at you. You're the only man here. Representing. We're in an industry, real estate. I think I haven't looked at the most recent stat, but women, there's more women in real estate than there are men now versus back in like the 70s and 80s. But on this Zoom with this tech company, of the 12, there were only 3 women. Okay. And I asked them those 3 questions. There you go, 62%. Winning. Okay. So, not that I don't love Ben. I'm married to one. I have been married to one for 25 years. He's amazing. But I mean, I am a woman. So, anyway, and so I asked the group these 3 questions, which do you want to be coached on? And I was shocked, you guys, mindset. So, the reason I'm saying this is I'm a very high D. I don't know if you've figured that out with me yet. Like I'm a no shit kind of gal. My leadership team used to say, hey, Kim, you know, there's this thing called care and candor. You're always like candor and then care. Like sometimes maybe we need, that's a high D where you're like, tell it like it is. And then you're like, oh no, let's hug each other. And so I always thought talking about mindset was very fluffy and maybe too soft. Yet I was proven, it was proven, you guys. I was doing a leadership training with a technology leadership company where the majority of the people that were on the Zoom were men. And they also brought up mindset. I was shocked. The reason I share this with you is that if you are not reaching your goals, if you are second guessing yourself, and you truly, deep down in your core, the perception of yourself, you guys, of yourself, of what you say to yourself, and the negativeness that you need to work on every day to squash down, if you're not working on that daily, you will not reach your potential. I study it, I read it, I hear it, I coach about it. It shows up everywhere. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, personally, I retired from being a team leader. I was done. They needed somebody new, 8 years. I already broke the average anyway. The average is like 18 months, you know? So I went to my husband and I said, "Hey, honey, I have some really good news for you. I'm going to retire." "Oh, don't worry. I know we have two girls in college. I know we just bought our dream condo overlooking the river in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh, I know we got this pontoon boat. Yeah, don't worry, honey. I'm gonna go build it. I'm gonna go build my coaching business. I'm gonna go build my keynote speaking business. What do you think about that?" Because when I had been 100% commission for 10 years. For 10 years, I had some stability. Now, team leaders, some do in the top market centers, but I'll be honest, you guys, as an agent, most top real estate agents make more than team leaders. Now, team leaders also are investors and they have investments and so on. So I'm not going to lie about that. But most people, when they take on the TL role, they do not take it for the money if they're the right team leader. They don't. No, neither do MCTTs or MCAs or ATLs or PCs or whatever. Okay. So here I am, January 1st, making a zero, a big fat zero. And my income matters based on the lifestyle that we want to live. I am not going backwards. I had to start with the perception I had of myself. I had to get real. I had to look in the mirror. I had to face it. I had to take some time. And so, my question for you is, how much time are you building in to your daily activities to work on the perception that you have of yourself? Does anybody here daily do any sort of activity? Like, let's be real and honest. Or we're like, snooze, I don't got time for that. Crazy kids. Oh no. Morning meditation, prayer, love it. So I'm just getting real with you because we just got real on the amount of days we have left. We just got real based on Abby saying mindset and knocking stuff out, right? We got real. Rachel brought up mindset. Greg, you even brought up mindset. You do morning meditation and prayer. Yeah, crazy, right? So here's what I'm going to give you. So at the beginning of the year, when I started this journey, I honestly was an consistent journaler. Inconsistent, consistent mindset journaler. Like I've got an Oprah journal. I don't know if anybody has one of those. It's beautiful. It looks so good on my bookshelf, right? The one thing, maps, if somebody got that one. I love buying new notebooks. Like I love new school supplies. My kids are now in college. I'm like, can we just like go buy some new notebooks and folders? Like, can I just smell them? Like, oh, I love a crisp new notebook, right? So inconsistently, consistently. Listen to Elrod. I've read his book, Miracle Morning. The Savers. Anybody hear of the Savers? Yeah, I did the Savers. I did it once for like 7 days, right? So inconsistent, consistent. So this year, at the beginning of the year, I was like, this is gonna happen. Like I am gonna like right now, write this down. Write the date. August 17th, 2023. By the time it's 2025, I'm gonna be a keynote speaker. You will see me on stage. I don't know if it'll be Keller Williams related. It doesn't really matter. It's going to happen. I just know it. But in order for me to get there, like I have to daily fight the battle of the natural negativity. Ugh. And it is, I don't know if it's worse being a woman than it is a man. Clearly it's not because I asked that whole tech company and they all brought it up. But anyway. We could have a different series for women that's called menopause because I'm now 50. So that's totally different, ladies. Just saying. Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you this. So at the beginning of the year, I started these journal entries. And then eventually over time, I started sharing stories. And then I eventually over time had a friend who joined me who's battling ALS, who also, and that's a whole nother sidebar. But the point is, it's working. And there's other people that are coming on board. And unsolicited, I have people that are sending me their daily mindset journal entries. It's like shocking. And so I'm trying to prove it wrong based on all these activities I'm doing, but it's flipping working. I'm just like, this is insane. It's like the magic pill. Okay, so are we ready? I'm going to give you the journal entries. Okay. So you're literally writing it out, and I'm giving you the prompts because as I continue to study this and test other journals, I don't have time to think in the morning. Like, I just need a prompt. Like, somebody tell me what I'm supposed to do. Kind of like the savers, but I created my own that spoke to me. Okay. So you're going to start with this. So the first thing that you're going to do is to set your spirit. Set your spirit. Greg, do you have my journal there or is that your own journal? Oh, look at you. Okay. Set your spirit. Okay. The first thing you're going to write out is, I will release. I will release. I will release comparing myself to others. I will release that argument I had with my mom the night before. I will release it. Just release it. I will release the 10 pounds I gained over the holidays. Release it. Okay? The second one is, I will take in gratitude for. I will take in gratitude for. I'll take in gratitude for the opportunity to be right here in this square with you guys. Because I hope that one of you takes this and you go and you change your life. I'll take in gratitude for, I don't know, this amazing water bottle that I can put stickers all over. Like, there's gratitude. Thank you, ring light. That's making me look younger, and these glasses that I get to put on so you can't see the bags under my eyes. What do you need to take in gratitude for? The third one is, I will focus on. I will focus on. What is on that forever to-do list that you need to focus on? Maybe you just need to focus on, like, it's August and maybe you haven't gone to the dermatologist yet because you should do that once a year. Or like my husband, who's 53 and still needs to get a colonoscopy. I'm like, dude, come on. Right? So it might be personal, it might not be, but what is it? One thing. What is one thing that you could focus on? Okay. The next question is to set your mind. To set your mind. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. I get to. There is a difference between I have to and I get to. I have to is obligation. I get to is opportunity, right? I get to go pick up my kids from the soccer game. I don't have to. I get to make dinner or at least provide cereal so they don't report me, right? Because I don't got time to make dinner, right? You get to. Okay. The next one is to set your heart. And this is an I am statement because we know that that works. It's proven. It changes your perception. I am bold. I am influential. I am a top agent, right? We know this. It's just a simple I am. I am healing. Sometimes we have to say I am, like sometimes mine are the same. Like sometimes I'm focusing on the same thing Monday through Friday because it takes me that long to actually get it done. Nobody says, there's no rules. It's your journal. It's your perception that you're trying to rewire. Okay. And then the last one that you're writing out is to set your actions. Greg, if you have the first round of the journal and you're journaling it daily, that was a typo, by the way, on each day. So, but it's to set your actions. This is an I will statement. This is, you just discovered you're only working 63 more days in the year. This is your action. I will write 5 notes. I will DM 5 people today. I will call 5 clients. That was the point of that first thing we did. The last thing you're writing in your journal is your action. So set your spirit, I will release. And I actually have a prompt there that's breathe out. And the reason I started adding prompts to these journal entries is it started to feel like a to-do list. So we're going to set our spirit, we're going to release and breathe out. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take in gratitude and we're going to breathe in. We're going to actually feel it. We're going to breathe it in. And then we're going to, I will focus on, and we're going to center ourselves. That's the prompt for that one. So I actually focus on it. And then we have our set our mind, which is I get to, not I have to, I get to, right? We're going to set our heart, I am. And then we have set our actions, I will. Okay. So this is something, this is what it looked like at the beginning of the year. So I'm not making this up. I literally am not a talking head, you guys. I've been testing it. I could almost cry because I'm like, what if I would have done this 25 years ago? What if I would have started doing this 25 years ago? It's okay. I know I'm 50 now. I got 50 years to live yet. It's fine. But this is what it looked like. So literally it was this tiny little notebook. Is it, I'm not kidding you guys. Like if I look here and let's see, I will focus on scheduling the dentist appointment. That was January 3rd. January 4th, I'll focus on scheduling dentist appointment. Listen to this. January 5th, focus on the freaking dentist appointment. January 6th, that effing dentist appointment. Finally, January 9th, it wasn't on there anymore. I hadn't been to the dentist for 18 months, but that's another story. I was just like, just go, girlfriend. So I want to challenge you again to change and rewire the perception. That's what this activity does. Unfortunately, as much as I believe it's a magic pill, it cannot be taken once. I've tried it, it doesn't work. Consistency matters. And then you'll be walking around doing what you want to do, doing what you're supposed to do. You're all put on this earth for a certain reason. So that's how it ties all together. So share with me, I guess, your takeaway. Like I would love to know your takeaways from all of this, or what resonated with you the most.
I love having the prompts because I'm the same way as I don't want to have to think about what I want to write about because it's just another rabbit hole for me to go down. So I like having the prompts to really set what mindset and where I need to be thinking and taking action. So thank you.
Yes. Yes. Anybody else? I mean, I am super passionate about this. And I'm a tester, so I'm constantly like testing and tweaking, and I'm like, come on, no, really? I have to do this daily. So I kind of fell off the bandwagon for a little bit, and then somebody reached out to me and they were really struggling. And I said to them, like, well, do you want to do this activity together? So what I've discovered is that we have accountability in a lot of areas in our life, right? Like you can have an accountability partner when it comes to going to the gym, right? Like you can meet each other there, whatever. You can even have accountability when it comes to building your wealth. It's called automatic savings, right? You can technically have accountability, right? Automatically have some money come out of your account, go into your IRA or whatever. What we don't have accountability is the mindset. Like we talk about it, everybody talks about it, but like, where's the accountability? So when I have these coaching conversations with people, I'm like, well, why don't we do this? We'll send each other a picture. And that's what we're doing. So literally people are sending me their pictures. And I'm talking all ages, men, women, all across different industries. I'm like, what? What has happened though is it's held me accountable. So all these people are giving me a gift, which I'm super gracious about. But like, I'm testing it. It's like, oh my gosh, I've never done this consistently. So I'm going to spread the word because man, we can do some pretty amazing stuff if we're all doing this. Greg, have you started writing in your journal?
I have not started your journal, but I have other journals that I write every day. And as a journaler, only for the last probably 8 years, with that accountability of a daily check-in and everything else, I know that when I'm journaling consistently, my production goes up. Everything else about me goes up. And it's getting into that mode. Because even if you don't have the prompts, and I think I started my journaling career with a prompt about paradigms. And it was one journal today, like Rachel said, it's much easier because you disconnect. And I find that if I don't have the prompts, my mind does go, you know, it's what I'm focused on is what you come out with. So yeah, first time I've actually gone through. I think you ought to just hold the class on the journal.
Oh, I know I am. I'm going to start. So what happened, you guys, and I don't really care. I'm not selling you on this. You can certainly get it if you want. I gave you the questions, but there's some other activities in here as well. But the journey itself was, like I said, I started doing this at the beginning of the year and then started sharing, and then through my coaching, and then we had accountability, and it kind of came up repeatedly where someone was like, hey, it would be so helpful if you put that in a journal. I'm like, well, that really wasn't on my 135 for the year. Like, okay, sure. I would love to publish a journal. So I didn't just publish one. I ended up publishing 3. And not only did I publish 3, I couldn't decide on the color of the cover. So you get to choose your cover color. So like Greg has the dark, and then I have the light. So I created a journal called For the Love of Self. That's what this one is, the prompts that I just gave you guys. And then there were some other ones. My brand is For the Love of, so I have For the Love of Inspiration and For the Love of Others. But this is my heart. This is where I put my PRP model. It's actually in here, the drawing. Like, this is my heart. This is my passion. So yeah, that's what happened. Kind of weird.
Good stuff.
So yeah, so feel free to go get it, or just, like I said, take the prompts. I don't really care, at this moment. But you are right, Greg. I'll probably have a group coaching. I'm working on putting that together with my publishing director. I'm going to probably do like a 6 or 12-week course that's kind of all related to this. So
I think that would be fabulous.
Yeah, it would be super fun.
You can send a check to. No, she did not put me up to that, folks. She did not.
Yeah, I've learned a ton about the printing world and the publishing world. Trust me, you don't make a whole lot when you publish. The people that publish books, if you notice, there's a reason that they also are speakers, and they also create their own individual coaching programs and downloadables. Most of them, well, besides Jay Papasan and Gary Keller, who are like, New York Times bestseller, unless you're like way, way up there, you're really not making money on your published work. It's more the ancillary, and it just becomes a tool. So I've learned a ton. If anybody's ever looking to publish a book, it's just like anybody who ever wants to get into real estate. It's nothing like what they think. It's the same with the book world. So, but super fun. All right, guys, I don't need to keep you, and I love a gift of time. So love it. I love a gift of time, right? So I can certainly let you go 10 minutes early, and you can go and win the rest of your day, unless you have anything else that would be of value to you that you feel like you need right now, you guys. Does anybody have FOMO because they're not? Did anybody here go to Mega Camp? Or is anybody even aligned? I don't even know. No? And some people are aligned with Keller Williams, some aren't. So I had a little bit of FOMO. Social media.
I have a little bit of FOMO too. But it is like 100 degrees in Austin, right?
I was gonna say, I don't know if my hair has FOMO, like when I go there, it's gotta be like in a bun 24/7, because otherwise it's like, I have naturally curly hair. This is probably about a week after not washing it, so it gets a little straighter, but it gets super big and crazy. So.
Important security message. Your computer has been locked up.
Greg,
address.
Is your computer locked up? Oh, man. All right, guys, you are amazing. Feel free to go to kimrogne.com for all things Kim Rogne. and follow me on social media. And whatever I can help with, if you ever want to hop on a Zoom and do a little consultation, I'm here for you. But otherwise, you're in really good hands and being part of one team. And I feel blessed. So thank you, Abby, and everybody who allowed me to fill in for Adam.
Thank you for filling in. We appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Go be amazing and crush the rest of your year.